उद्घाट्य योगकलया हृदयां च कोशं धन्यैश्चिरादपि यथारुचि गृह्यमाणः यः प्रस्फुरत्यविरतं परिपूर्णरूपः श्रेयस्समे दिशतु शाश्वतिकं मुकुन्दः अमरीकबरीभारभ्रमरी मुखरीकृतं दूरीकरोतु दुरितं गौरीचरणपङ्कजं परस्परतपःसम्पत्फलायित परस्पर प्रपञ्चमातापितरौ प्राञ्चौ जायापतिस्तुमः. So we finished with the Vichitra Alankara. Now we have to start with Adhika alankara. There are two varieties. So Adhika alankara is where we have to first understand the concept of Adhara Adheya Bhava. Adhara is that which is a substratum or which is a container, let's say. You know, the English translation here takes it as a container, or something which is the support for certain contents. And those contents are called adheya. So adhara is the support and adheya is that which is kept on the support. So let's take, for example, this computer, this monitor is on the table. So table becomes the adhara and the monitor is your adheya. If I have a pencil on my hand, then karaha eva atra adharaha, ankani becomes your adheya. Okay. Now, usually we take that the support is bigger than the contents. So the container is usually bigger than the contents, right? That is one type of Adhika alankara. If the contents are bigger than the container, if such a description is given, then it is the first variety of Adhika alankara. So Adhikam Prithula Adharat Adheyadhikya Varnana. Prithula Adharat. You have to first describe that the Adhara is so big, yet the contents are not contained within that Adhara. So adheya adhikya varnanat, the that which is needs a support seems to be much bigger than a huge adhara. You would think that that adhara is so huge that it can support everything, yet it is not able to fit all of these things within it. So this is one type of description. So chamatkarattvena yadi vartate tarhi it becomes a alankara here. Brahmandani jale yatra tatramanti nate gunaha. So when you're describing the qualities of a king, the poet says yatra jale brahmandani vartante. This Brahmandam is supposed to be surrounded by jalam, water. This Brahmanda floats in an Adhara Jalam. So Adhara Jalam, if you have come for Shivalila Arnava class, you will know that when Shiva tried to make that lake, all of the devotees come to Shiva and say that we are unable to have a water source. There is no water source nearby. So we need some water source so that we can bring waters and do Abhishekam for your lingam here. Swayambhu lingam in Kadambavanam, right? So Shiva immediately appears there with his Trishulam. He hits the ground. And when he hits the ground, it goes in so deep that it hits the Brahmandasya Andarupam. That in the Ilipacheti Madri irkum adilamba. மேல ஒரு இழுப்பச்சட்டி கீழே ஒரு இழுப்பச்சட்டி அப்படி நம்ம வந்து நினைச்சுக்கணும் இந்த பிரம்மாண்டத்தை. So it goes and hits that bottom portion of the andam, makes a crack, and the avarana jalam, the water surrounding this entire brahmanda, seeps in through that hole and it forms this Suvarna Pushkarini. அந்த பொற்றாமரை குளம் சொல்றோம் இல்லையா மதுரையில, that lake was formed with the Adhara Jalam. Another incident where the Adhara Jala is mentioned is Trivikramavataram. We just had Onam, right? So in Trivikramavataram, when Vamana raised his leg to measure the Swargam, it actually went and cracked the top portion of the Brahmandam from where the water started flowing, and that is Ganga. So that is why Gangayaha pavanatvam ati pavanatvam vartate. Yataha brahmanda avarana jalam vartate iti karanat. So that jalam he is talking about here. So brahmandani yatra jale vartante. In that water, imagine If the entire Brahmandam has to be in some water, so it is a prithula adharaha. Tatra te gunaha namanti. Your qualities do not fit there at all. So if I try to measure your qualities and try to put it in a container, it does not go and fit that container. It overflows beyond that avarana jalam. Ati pritutvena prasiddha adharat. So, ati pritutvena prasiddha adharaha. An adhara, a substratum, which is prasiddham, which is famous as to be large, okay, which is reputed to be large. Adheyasya adhikya varnanat. If the even though it is known to be huge, still the contents do not fit into that container. If such a description is done, then it is adhika alankara. Brahmandanam api adharatvat ati vistirne jale. Since that waters it should be really huge, even though, because it is Brahmandanam api adharatvat, because it is the substratum of even the entire universe, it should definitely be huge, right? So ativistirne jale, in those waters which wherein all of the worlds are contained, Ragnaha gunaha na manti. They cannot be measured, they cannot be contained within that jalam. The king's qualities cannot be contained within that jalam. Iti adheya bhuta gunanam adhikya varnanat adhika alankaraha. Clear? Asya aparam udaharanam. Sariyarka? Okay. Yoganta kala pratisamhritatmanaha jaganti yasyam savikasamasata tanau mamustasya nakaita bhadvushaha tapodhanabhyagama sambhava mudaha. This is a beautiful shlokam. Adade, okay, I will look at that shloka. Yeah. So this is from Shishupala. In Shishupala, Narada comes to visit Krishna. And when Narada comes in, he says, this is the description there. He says he's not able to contain the happiness that Krishna had, the bliss that he felt when he saw Tapodhana, when he saw Narada. He could not contain it within himself. This is, it is not an object to fit inside someone, right? But then that's the description here. So when you describe it in such a way that the happiness could not fit within him, who has fit the entire world in him. Yuganta kala pratisamhrita atmanaha yasyam jaganti atmanaha savikasam yasyam sorry atmanaha yasyam tanau jaganti savikasam asata. All of the worlds came and during Samhara Kala. So, Utpatti Kale, all these worlds were manifested from the body of Paramatma, from Vishnu. And then during Sthiti Kala, they were staying within Vishnu himself. Then during Samhara Kala, all of that came and fitted within his body. Yugasya Antakale. At the end of the Yugam, what happened? Pratisamhrita atmanaha. One who had completely taken in his form. Sankuchita atmanaha. Tasya. Yasyam tanau. In Bhagavan, who had completely done samharam at the end of Chaturyuga. Yasyam tanau. In whichever body, Paramatma's body, Jaganti, all of the worlds, Savikasam asata. It was shining beautifully within him. Asata, it was present. It was sitting within him in a nice manner. So all of the worlds, in whose body is this? In the body of Paramatma, who had completely pratisamhritam, who was doing that samharam at the end of the yuga. Yuganta kale pratisamhrita atma yasya saha tadrisha vishnoho yasyam tano jaganti asata. Tamil அழகா வரும். அதாவது யுகம் முடியும் சமயத்தில் தன்னுடைய சரீரத்தை சுருக்குகின்ற பகவானுடைய எந்த ஒரு சரீரத்தில் உலகங்களே வீற்றிருந்தனவோ அவருக்கு மனசுல சந்தோஷத்தை அடக்க முடியலையா. So tasya bhagavataha kaitabadvishaha kaitabhasya dvishaha. So Madhu, Kaitaban, rendu perilla, the asuras, both asuras. So he was the enemy of Kaitabha. So Kaitabadvishaha tasya Vishnoho tanau, in that body, mudaha, happiness, which came because of seeing Narada. Tapodhana abhyagama sambhavaha. Tapodhanasya agamanam tad abhimukyena agamanam. So abhyagamam na அவரை நோக்கி வராராம். பகவானை நோக்கி வந்ததை பார்த்த உடனே அவருக்கு அப்படி ஒரு சந்தோஷம் பொங்கிண்டு வந்தது. It could not be contained within himself. He showed his happiness. So this happiness that was born sambhava out of the arrival of Tapodhana, the one who was great in penance, which is Narada. Na mamuhu, mudaha na mamuhu, the happiness were not contained. Atra यस्य भगवतः शरीरे चतुर्दश भुवनानि प्रलय काले सविकासम आसत. So during pralaya kala, in whose body, in which Bhagavan's body, all of the 14 worlds were present, savikasam, along with its. No, when Markandeya saw Krishna, he in the Alilai Krishna na pakararliya, Vatapatra Shayi yatha Markandeya apashyat rishihi tada tasya jatare sarvani api bhuvanani asanneva tatra sampurnataya. He could see the child was so huge, at the same time it was so beautiful, but inside that small stomach he could see all of the worlds in a miniature format. The snow globe patrikela and the madri irukkum, you know, the snow globe which has one small village inside and then the snow will be falling. You shake panni appadi vechomna, there will be a tiny village within it. It's like a miniature thing. That is how Krishna's stomach was at that time. So the entire, all 14 worlds were present in its full form. Savikasam asata tasya sharire, in his body, Narada agamana janita mudaha anandaha, the happiness that he felt, that were produced when he saw the arrival of Narada, na mamuhu, it were not measured. That is, it did not contain there. Iti adhika adheya varnanad adhika. Itas swabiti keshavaha kulam itas tadiyad dvisham itascha sharanarthinam shikharinam ganaha sherate itopi vadavanalaha sahasamasta samvartakaihi aho vitatam urjitam bharasaham cha sindhor vapuhu. அது அதிகாலங்காரம். Sindhoho vapuhu, the ocean's body is such that it is huge, but at the same time the adharaha, இது அதிகாலங்காரம் na mamena சொல்ல முடியாது. It's not this variety. I think it is the second variety. சொல்றேன் ஏன்னு. Each one of those are so many. Keshavaha api swapiti. Krishna is also sleeping there. Tadiya dvisham kulam. Asura kulam is also there in that waters. Sharanarthinam shikarinam ganaha sherate. All of the mountains which came and took refuge when Indra was cutting off the wings, all of the mountains also came and took refuge within the waters of the ocean. Itopi vadavanalaha, the Agni which keeps the Samudram in check, is also present within it. And samasta samvartakaihi saha, along with all of the samvartakamna and the all the I think it is the pralayakala agni nanikare, with all the pralayakala agnis are also present within that. Vitatam urjitam bharasaham sindhoho vapuhu. Even though these are all multitude, still they could be carried by the ocean. The ocean is huge, but each one of these are also huge here. So many mountains, so many asuras, Krishna with his, Vishnu with his Vishwarupam, Vadavanala, everything seems to fit into the body of this ocean. So that is actually the second variety of Adhika Alankara, where you say Prithu Adheyat Yate Adhara Adhikyam Tadapi Tanmatam. The Adheya, the contents are huge, and the container seems to be even more bigger than the contents. So that is a kind of Adhika Alankara, which is there in Niti Shatakam, that is the Swapiti. पृथुवादेयात् यद् आधाराधिक्यं तदपि तन्मतं कियद्वाग् ब्रह्म यत्रैते विश्रम्यन्ति गुणास्तव. So yatra he brahma brahman vag brahma, you're trying to, the poet is trying to describe the qualities of a raja again. Tava gunaha yatra vishramyanti, I am trying to explain your qualities, describe your qualities. Wherever they go and finish, that is where Shabda Brahmam lies. So imagine how big that Shabda Brahmam should be. I am trying to describe one by one all of your qualities. As I come to the end of it, I find that the next is only Shabda Brahmam. So I have exhausted the entire gamut of vocabulary here, and the next is only Shabda Brahmam, which is even, huge than your qualities. So even though this is a kind of this is to say that the adhara is bigger, yes, Shabda Brahmam is bigger, but it is also to highlight that the qualities of the king are so many that I exhaust the vocabulary of whatever words that are there in the world and go to the Nada Brahmam ultimately. Until then, I can keep describing your qualities. There are so many qualities that you have. So it is to actually describe and say that the king has lovely qualities. Okay. So to highlight that part, that is the highlight here. Prithutvena prasiddha adheyat. Adheyam, the contents are larger, but prithutvena prasiddham, so it is reputed to be large, yes, but still adharasya adhikya varnanam, the adhara becomes even more huge. That's what we saw here. Vishnu has his Vishwarupam, the asuras are all huge also, the mountains are so many and huge, still this samudram is able to contain all of it within itself. So hey Rama, this is Rama's qualities. Okay. Tava ananta kalyana gunaha yatra vishramyanti asambadham tishtanti, where all of your ananta kalyana guna, all your auspicious qualities, asambadham tishtanti, without any stop, they go and rest somewhere. Adavadhu that describe panninde varrache, okay, I think I have come to the end of this. There is nothing else. I have exhausted the list of qualities that he has. Iti yatra vayam, wherever it comes to a full stop, wherever we are able to take a pause, that is where Shabda Brahmam starts. Tad vag brahma, Shabda Brahma kiyat, kim parinamam syat. How big, how should that Shabda Brahma be, that all-pervading, Nada Brahmam, how would it be? Kim parimanam syat, what could be its measure? Tat parimanam etavat iti nirnetum na shakyate. That is, your qualities are also as huge as the Shabda Brahmam, but the Shabda Brahmam is definitely bigger than that. Atra, we are unable to describe we are unable to determine the parimanam, measurement of Nada Brahma. Atra adheya gunapekshaya adharasya Shabda Brahmanaha adhikyam uttam. So the container Shabda Brahma is huge. The substratum adhara Shabda Brahman is described as being bigger than the adheya guna, than the qualities that are being described using the words. Aho vishalam bhupala bhuvana tritayodaram mati matum ashakyopi yasho rashihi yad atra te. Yat yasmat karanat atra te yasho rashihi ashakyaha matum ashakyaha api yasho rashihi mati. Hey Bhupala, O king, yat, because of the fact that atra, in this world, in these three worlds, bhuvana tritaya udaram, in the space, or in that, in the உலகத்தின் வயிற்றில் அப்படின்னு, so in that space, te yashorashihi matum ashakyaha api yashorashihi, your fame, the heap of fame that you have, which we are unable to, which is not capable to be measured. It's not possible to measure the fame that you have. Yet that fame seems to fit within the Bhuvana Tritaya Udaram. So Atra Mati, it seems to fit within these three worlds. Your Yasho Rashi is actually something beyond this world, but somehow it seems to, I am unable to measure your fame, but somehow it seems to fit this entire three worlds. So imagine, here, aho, Bhuvana Tritaya Udaram Vishalam Vartate. Indeed, the space within these three worlds is huge, very large, Vishalam. The stress, even though we are saying that the Adharam is huge, much, much bigger than the Yashorashi, which is also huge, which is spread everywhere. It is widespread. Tathapi, the focus is only to describe that the king is extremely famous and his fame has spread to all three worlds. Okay, so that is the idea here. Actually, in the Adhika alankarathukku, I was looking, there is another ஒரு நிமிஷம் இந்த பாதுகா சஹஸ்ரத்துல வந்து I think there is one shloka which is a very beautiful shloka. First paddhatiliye varum.
Second variety or first variety?
I think it is the first variety. Yadadharam vishwam gatirapi cha yes. Tasya parama tameka dhatse dishasi cha gatim tasya ruchiram katham sa kamsarehe kavinam ksudranam tumase. Illa, adilla. Even if I take the entire, so if the Akasham is completely, Akasham is taken as the patam, book to write. And if I take all of the Sapta Samudraha, all the seven Samudram as the Mashi, even then I cannot describe your qualities. They cannot be fit into that book. அப்படிம்பர் அந்த மாதிரி ஒரு ஸ்லோகம் வரும் இல்லையா? அடுத்ததுலையா? அது ரெண்டாவதுலையோன்னு நினைக்கிறேன். இல்ல இல்ல எஸ் சப்த பர்வ விபதான தூங்காம், அதுவும் இல்ல. சரி, வேணுங்கிறச்சே வரல பத்தில. நிசேஷம் அம்பரதல மூணாவது பத்ததியில இருக்கு. சாரி, பிரபாவ பத்ததியில இருக்கு. I will just show this paddhati. Is very Deshikar kekkave vanda. He is one pramadama edirparavar. Just I'll show you this. The second one in the third paddhati. Nishesham ambaratalam yadi patrika syat saptarnavi yadi sametya mashi bhavitri. Ana yadi vandatnala you can't say that it is perfectly Adhika alankara. If it had been like this, then it could have been contained in it. Then I could have. Actually, அது வந்து வேற ஏதோ ஒரு அலங்காரம் வருது. நான் பார்க்கணும் என்ன அலங்காரம். நிசேஷம் அம்பரதலம் யதி பத்ரிகா ஸ்யாத். If the entire space of sky is my paper. Saptarnavi yadi sametya mashi bhavitri. If my ink is all the seven samudrams together, that much of ink I need to write. Vakta sahasravadanaha. If sahasravadanaha, anantasesha nagaha is the speaker here, purushaha swayam chet likhyeta rangapadi padukayoho prabhavaha, then I can probably write about the paduka mahimama. Illana எழுத முடியாதுங்கற. இல்ல, இது some other alankara. This is not Adhika alankara. It's a beautiful shlokam. Path solren aprom. Okay. The next one is Pratyanika alankaraha. Pratyanikam balavataha shatroho pakshe parakramaha jaitra netranugunau karnau utpalabhyam adah krito. It's a little tough to understand this alankara. There are two shatru paksha. You have one side which is prabalam. So balavataha prabalasya shatroho pakshe antafpatini mitradi sahaye parakramaha. So there are two people who are fighting, who are competing with each other. This person he cannot attack the principal person. Let's say there are two senapatis. One senapati cannot face the other senapati. He thinks he will get defeated. So immediately what he does is he attacks his sahaya. He attacks the army. He doesn't fight. Samayoreva yuddham shobate ityasti. Vivahascha yuddhancha samayoreva shobate. Usually battle and marriage is ideal only between two equals. So let's say there are two senapatis. One of them feels he is going to be defeated by the other person. Then he goes, instead of attacking the principal person, he goes and attacks the podiyal. Another, the sahaya, helper. He goes and attacks that person. So if that sort of a description is there, then it is called Pratyanika alankara. Pratyanikam is prati enemy, anika is army. If someone goes and attacks the enemy's army instead of the enemy directly, then it is called Pratyanika alankara. Balavataha shatroho pakshe parakramaha darshayate. So he is showing his valor in the paksha, in the paksha antavpatini mitradi sahaye, one who falls within that group. In his side, on the enemy's side, the enemy is prabala. Atayeva sakshat pratikartum ashakyasya balavataha shatroho. The enemy is so strong, that is why he cannot directly attack that enemy. So what he does is, he goes and shows his parakrama, his valor, to the paksham, to the side of that enemy. That is, those who fall within his army, like a mitra, a friend, or a helper, someone or the other. Okay. Now the lakshanam is clear. We'll have to try to fit the lakshyam here. Jaitra netra anugau karnau utpalabhyam adah kritau. The eyes, the Utpalam is fighting with the eyes here. Utpala is a lovely lily flower, which usually is compared to the eye of a lady. Naikayaha netre utpala tulyau. This is a normal upamanam. Now this Utpalam, it finds that it cannot win over the eyes. So the blue lotus, what does it do? Or the lily, or Utpalam, what does it do? Instead of attacking the eye, it goes and attacks the karna, the ear, which is a follower of the eye. Idi enna kanakkunna. The eyes are so long that they touch the ear. So when you describe a lady's eyes, you describe in such a manner that the eyes follow the ear. Sorry. The ears follow the eye. The eye is pradhanam and the ears follow the eye. So the eyes are shatru and the karnam, the ears follow the eye. So they are anugaha, they are sahayaha. So jaitram is netram. The Jaitram is Jayashila. Yes, yeah. So one which is capable, the victorious, ever victorious eye. So which means the Naikayaha Netretu Atisundareva. So they are capable of winning over the Utpalam. So Jaitra Netra Anugau Karnau, the eyes which are following, the ears which are following the eyes which have won over the Utpalam. Those two now are being adah kritau. They are being tiraskritau by the Utpalam. Enna artham? Oru panna irka, naika asti, sa tu Utpala pushpam pashyati. But that pushpam is very beautiful. Adi sundaram pushpam. So she immediately plucks it and places it on her ear. Now what is happening? The ear has been pushed down and the flower is on top of that ear. Okay, so by the Utpalam, the ear has been pushed down. Tallapatturthu keela appadinu artham. The Utpala Pushpam tried to compete with the eye. It could not win over the eye, so it attacked the follower of the eye, which is the ear, and pushed it down. Puriyarda? Konjam kashtam.
Nalla irukku.
அது இப்படி இப்படி ஒரு படம் போட்டு கொடுத்தாதான் அது புரியும். முதல்லலாம் படிச்சா ஒண்ணுமே புரியாது. उत्पलाभ्याम इंदीवराभ्याम जैत्र नेत्र अनुगौ स्वजेत्र स्व इति उत्पल उत्पल जेता उत्पलस्य जेता किं नेत्रम्. सो उत्पलस्य जेतृत्वेन विद्येते नेत्रे तयोः नेत्रयोः अनुसारिणौ कर्णौ. The ears follow the two eyes which have won over the उत्पल pushpam, and those two ears adh kritau tiraskritau, that is they have been pushed down. Abdina adhav pradeshe kritau, she has placed the utpala pushpam on her ear in such a manner that the utpala pushpam is more beautiful than the ear. Adalla seri, but still the eyes have won over that utpala pushpam. That's what it is. So utpalabhyam sakshat netra jaye samarthya abhavat. Netra jaye, the utpala pushpam cannot directly win over, it doesn't have the capability, samarthya abhavat, to gain victory over the eyes directly, sakshat. So what does it do? Netra anusaranashile stotre adhak shrotre adhakrate. Hence those two utpala flowers have completely pushed down the ears. அப்படியே காலை வச்சு ஆமத்தி நீ எனக்கு அடியில அப்படின்னு சொல்ற மாதிரி. So இது சத்ரோஹோ பக்ஷ तिरस्कार, இல்லையா? சத்ரோஹோ பக்ஷ tiraskara varnanat, because the paksham or the side of the, that is the paksha follower, the follower has been shown to be pushed down. Iti pratyanika. adhkrita shabde shleshena tiraskara adhav pradesha karanayoho abeda adyavasayah. So you can either take it as tiraskara, that is it is completely denying it, subdued abdingra artham, or adhkrita, placed below. Both can be taken here. Okay, tiraskara is subduing someone, tan adakkaradu, alladhu pradesha, adhav pradesham, below in stature. The okay, aparam udaharanam mama rupa kirtim aharat bhuvi yaha tad anupravishta hridaya iyam iti tvayi matsaradiva nirasta dayaha sutaram krinoti khalutam madanaha. I am not sure if this is from some kavyam. Yeah, it doesn't say which kavyam this is. In general, it's a Nayika is suffering from Manmathavastha. Okay, so Manmatha Madanaha Tam Nayikam Sutaram Krinoti Krinam Karoti. He completely emaciates her, you know. He told like krishi karoti tam. So he ensures that she completely fades away. So why does he do that? Nirasta dayaha, he doesn't have any daya. Yasmat daya nirasta saha. So from whom this completely this quality of karuna has been removed, from whom? Tadrishaha madanaha. Madana does not, Manmatha does not have any daya at all towards that girl. So he completely fades her away, emaciates her. Nirdayam yatha syat tatha krinoti. Katham kimartham matsarat iva, as if he is jealous towards the nayaka whom she has in mind. Ipenaj Manmatha is looking at the nayaka, and he is much more handsome than Manmatha himself. So, and the lady has him in her mind. Okay, he cannot directly attack that nayaka, because he knows if he goes and stands in front of him, he will get destroyed. So what does he do? He goes and attacks the lady who has kept him in her heart. So she is the Sahaya Bhuta or Mitram. So and he attacks the Paksha here. So Mama Rupa Kritim Bhuvi Bhumau, in Bhumi, this person, this Nayaka, has taken away my Rupa Kirti, my fame, and Rupam, my form, my beauty, and my fame has been stolen by this Nayaka. Mama Rupa Kirtim Yaha Aharat, the person who stole my Rupam, beauty, and Kirtim, fame, iti Manmataha Chintayati, Manasi. So Manmatha thinks that this person stole both, the person who stole my beauty and fame, Aharat Yaha, Tadanupravishta Hritaya Iyam. She has Tasya Hridi Esha Vartate iti. Or Saha Yasyam Yasyaha Hridi Hridaye Anupravishtaha. அப்படி எடுத்துக்கணும். சஹா யஸ்யாஹ ஹிருதயே அனுப்பிரவிஷ்டஹ அथवा தத் அனுப்பிரவிஷ்ட ஹிருதயா ஏஷா. This girl seems to have entered his mind, so I cannot directly connect him or attack him. Iti chintayan tvayi manmathaha tvayi matsarat manmathaha tam kshinoti. So out of jealousy towards you, towards this Nayaka. So it is, let's say it is a friend or a Dhuti who comes and talks to the Nayaka saying, you know, your Nayika is suffering from Virahavastha. So the Dhuti comes and tells this Nayaka saying, you know, Tvayi Matsarat, out of jealousy towards you, saying that you have stolen his beauty and his fame, and you have also, she has also entered your Hridayam. He, out of jealousy towards you, Matsarat, Nirasta Dayaha, without any Daya, he is completely torturing her. So that is, she is feeling the love pangs. So Atra Madanaha Atmanaha Rupa Kyatim. You can also take it as Rupasya Khyatihi Kirti or Rupe Kirti. Rupa Vishayaka Kirti. The fame with respect to beauty has been taken over by the Nayaka. That is, he is Manmata Koti Sadrishaha iti. Right? So Hritavataha Sundara Purushasya Pratikara Ashaktaha. Manmatha being incapable of Pratikara, revenge, directly towards the beautiful person or the handsome person. Tada anuraktam tarunim nirdayam kshinoti. He goes and tortures cruelly the girl who is attached to that guy. Shatru Paksha Tiraskara Varnanat Pratyanika. Sariyarka? Any doubts here? Okay.
Everything is good.
Okay. Next alankara is Kavyarthapatti alankaraha. In the Kaumutyala, Kaimutyanan இருக்கணும். Okay. இங்கே போட்டு விடுறேன் இல்லையா? இது கிடையாது. So கைமுத்தியேன அர்த்தசம்சித்திஹி காவ்யார்த்தாபத்திர் இஷ்யதே சஜிதஸ்த்வன்முகேன இந்துஹு காவார்த்தா சரசீருஹம். கைமுத்திக நியாயம்னா கிமுத இது. வாட் டு சே ஆஃப் திஸ்? இதையே பண்ணிட்டான், அது பண்ண மாட்டானா என்ன அப்படிங்கிறோம் இல்லையா? அந்த மாதிரி ஒரு எங்க வர்ணனை இருக்கோ அதுக்கு கைமுத்தி அலங்காரம். So that is கிமுத்த. ஏததபி சஹா அதாவது he has won All India award, let's say, you know, he has won All India first. Did he get school first? Iti kimartham tatra prashtavyam. If he has procured an All India first award, getting a school first is nothing, no? It is easy. Andavad. So that is Kavyarthapatti. Sajitaha tvanmukhena induhu. Indu, the moon, has been won over by you. Tvanmukhena, by your face. Saha Induhu has been conquered by your face. So what to say of the lotus? This moon is more beautiful than the lotus. You have already conquered the moon. So definitely you have conquered the lotus. You don't need to mention it separately. What is this? Iti. Okay, that is Kaimutikan Nyayam. Kaimutikan Nyayena Artha Samsiddhihi Vivakshitartha Siddhihi. Whatever we want to say, we want to convey, vivakshitaha arthaha, tasya arthasya siddhihi katham bhavati. That is, how do you accomplish conveying the thing that you want to say? That you say it through kaimutikan nyayam. Yatra dandapupikan nyayam. ओके दण्डापूपिकन्यायेन अर्थसिद्धिः वर्ण्यते तत्र काव्यार्थापत्तिः इति निष्कर्षः दण्ड अपूपिकान्यायम् अपूपिका सरलव्याकरणத்துல படிச்சோம் இல்லையா अपूपम इत्युक्ते some வடை வெச்சுக்கோங்களே there is a stick and there is a apupam at the end of it some kashchana bhaksha visheshah vartate dandasya antime bhage you are showing it and some you want to trap some animal that animal is so strong that it has eaten even the dandam so what to say of the apupam adanga danda apupika நியாயம்ங்கிறது அதுதான் அதாவது ஒரு இது இந்த எலிப்பொறி வைக்கிறோமோ இல்லையோ எலிப்பொரியில போய் மசாலா வடை வைக்கிறோம் எலிப்பொரியே சாப்பிட்டு விடுற மாதிரி ஒரு பெரிய ஒரு இது வந்ததுன்னு வச்சுக்கோங்களேன் பெருச்சாளி அந்த பெருச்சாளி வந்து பொரியா சாப்பிட்டுருதுன்னா இது வடைய தின்னுதா இல்லையான்னு நம்ம வந்து விசாரிச்சுட்டு இருக்க வேண்டாமே அதை பத்தி என்ன சொல்றதுக்கு அந்ததான் தண்டாபூபிக நியாயம்னு அர்த்தம் ஓகே so दण्डापूपिक न्यायेन अर्थसिद्धिः वर्ण्यते तत्र काव्यार्थापत्तिः इति निष्कर्षः शास्त्रे अपि in shastram here is not kavya shastram but in darshanas like vedanta shastram etc api arthapattehe satvat tadvaranaya kavya padam iti kechit so some feel that the word kavyam is given here kavya arthapatti it is an influence from the shastram which has arthapatti pramana and but it is different from that arthapatti pramanam which is there in shastram but it is influenced by it that's all so kavyarthapatti is included here to show that this is a chamatkara rupena atra you have to describe it and it is different from the arthapatti that you see as a pramanam in shastra so vastutastu arthapatti pramanat vilakshana eva kavyarthapatti so there is no comparison between arthapatti pramanam in shastra and kavyarthapatti alankara here in alankara sahitya shastram there should be kaimutika nyayam here whereas in shastram there are just two statements and you infer from it that inference is called arthapatti there pino devadatta idda normally use pandra or example no body shaming or anything please so pino devadatta is very fat ratri bhoja adadu divana bhunkte he doesn't eat during the day at all so arthapatti pramanena by inference we come to the conclusion that ratri bhojanam arthapatti pramanena siddhyati iti so night definitely he has been eating during the night and that's why he is like this abdin there are so many other issues also which can occur like thyroid adu idu ennalamo irkalam but this is the common example that they take in shastram to show arthapatti pramanam kavyarthapatti is something completely different from that arthapatti okay as a side note saha sundarattvena ahlaadakarittvena cha prasiddha chandraha athava padmajeta induhu so induhu chandraha the moon sundarattvena is very beautiful because of the fact because of beauty and because of attractive nature ahlaadakarittvena cha prasiddha he is very famous who the moon athava or you can also call him as padmajeta one who has won over the moon because as soon as the moon rises the lotuses completely close themselves and they feel ashamed of their beauty so they are no longer beautiful when the moon rises so the moon has won over the lotus so it is a padmajeta tava mukhena saha jitah but that moon has been won over by your face evam sati sarasi ruhanam padmanam ka varta ka katha so what to say of the lotuses here atra yena padmajeta induhu jitah tena padmani jitani eva iti kim vaktavyam do I have to specifically say that the lotuses have been won over by your face when I've already said that your face is even more beautiful than the moon I don't need to specify and say that it is won over the lotuses iti dandapupika nyayena padmajaya rupa arthasya samsiddhehe arthapatti Imagine a situation where the Nayaka is describing the Nayika and he is saying, oh, you're more beautiful than the moon. What about the lotuses? She is asking, oh, you didn't say I'm more beautiful than the lotuses. What about the lotuses? I have already said that you are much more beautiful than the moon. When the moon has won over do I have to specifically mention the lotuses? Think of a situation like that to apply this. Okay. Now, aparam udaharanam for this. Adharaha ayam adhirakshyah bandhujiva prabha अन्यजीव प्रभाम हंति हरति इति किम अद्भुतम. Okay. There is slesha in this. Adhirakshyah, adhira akshyah, one who has chanchala akshi, one who has marunda kangalungrol, yeah. So marundangarche bayathoda irukakudiyadhu eppa paathalum ingiyum angiyum paathandru alagana kangal, one who has beautiful eyes, but at the same time those eyes are also adhira. They are not very gambhiram, they don't look straight, but it's a shy eyes. Adhirakshyah, adharaha ayam, her lip. Adharaha is the lower lip. Oshta is the upper lip. Adhara is the lower lip. So adharaha ayam, the lower lip. Bandhu jiva prabha haraha. Bandhu jiva is a type of pushpam which is called bandhuka pushpam. So bandhu jivaha bandhuka pushpam. Tat prabha haraha. It is able to remove the prabha or the beauty of the bandhuka flower. It is bandhuka flower in the teni pushpam irkolyo. I don't know if you have seen this. Nariya Madras lala irukkum oru nimisham adu matro kaamikiren so that you know that this is the flower in the ten pushpam po. Adhaadu you take that flower and pinnadi vandu adu idu panna ten varum. In the
this is also kind of Nandiyate family only, I think.
Abdiya, okay. So this is a bandhuka flower.
There is also
iduvum bandhuka flower. So this could also be bandhuka flower. So we don't know. But this one nariya irukkum. Pink color irukkum, red color irukkum. This we find it a lot. So that color, we need only the color of that flower, right? So bandhu jiva prabham harati. Your lower lip is so beautiful and the color is such that it removes the kanti. It is more beautiful than the kanti of the bandhuka flower. That is, it removes that kanti of that flower. Okay, so bandhu jiva prabha haraha. The other meaning of that is bandhunam jiva prabham jivanam prabha harati. That is, it removes the it is capable of removing the luster of people. That is, people, when they see your lower lip, they are able to, they let go of everything else and they only think of you and virahatapam anubhavanti. So they become very pale because of that. So they are attracted towards your lip and their jivam is completely, and the prananaye vandu ilukra madri oru color avlodhu irukku abdingra. So what to say of Anya Jiva Prabham Harati Iti Hanta Kim Adbhutam? What is so surprising about the fact that it can remove the pranan of others? Anya Jiva Prabham Harati Prabhana Kanti Anyesham Prananam Kantimapi Harati Iti Atra Kim Chitram Vartate. It is very easy. Imagine a person, he troubles a lot. He troubles even his own relatives. So what to say of him troubling others? So in that case, take this as the example. So her lips can trouble even the relatives. So what to say of other people? Outsiders, strangers who come and see her. But it's actually, it can remove the bandhuka flower is so red in color. Her lips are even more beautiful than that, such that we don't even look at the kanti, the luster of the bandhuka flower. Instead, it seems to have stolen the kanti of the bandhuka flower. So what to say of other flowers which pale in comparison? they can't even come near bandhuka flower. So what to say of other flowers? அப்படி எடுத்துக்கணும். So bandhu jeevaha bandhuka pushpam tat prabhaharaha tat prabham harati athava bandhunam jeevanam prabhaharaha cha iti slesha moola adhyavasanena abeda adhyavasanena. So we know what this slesha moola abeda adhyavasanam. Bandhu jeeva prabhaharaha means two meanings are there, and for both those meanings only one word is given, that is abeda adhyavasanam, superimposition of one meaning over the other meaning with one word itself, that is slesha moola abeda adhyavasanam. Bandhu jeeva prabhaharasya anya jeeva prabhaharatvam anukta siddham. It is a given that definitely bandhunam jeevanam api harati iti chet anyesham tu ka varta. It will definitely be more attractive to other people. Usually enna, we ourselves don't feel that our children may not be, we don't praise our children so much, or even our wives, our husbands, tatha. We always feel that if she is so beautiful even to the family members, then what to say of other, apdi or interpretation. So we'll stop with this. Next is Kavyalinga Alankaram. Idukkum adukkum konjam we need to look at the differences between the two alankaras. So we'll do that tomorrow. Okay? Monday.
How is it different?
Which one?
Superimpose panna, adu eppadi roopakathoda, how will it be different?
Paathome. So roopakam has two objects mentioned. If I say bandhuka pushpam and bandhu jeeva together, both have to be mentioned, then it is roopakam. If both are only represented by one word, then it is abeda adhyavasaya.
Okay.
Metaphor la vandu roopakathula vandu both should be mentioned. Chandra mukham irkanum. Okay. Mukha chandraha, it has to be mentioned. Both mukham is also there, chandraha is also mentioned. So when I say vamshaha, vamshaha can mean kulam. Vamshaha also means bamboo which grows. Vamshaha vardhate. When I say that, the kulam grows like a bamboo. So there is a superimposition of vamsha, kulam, on top of vamsha, which is bamboo, and I'm using only one word to represent it in the shloka.
Oh, okay, okay.
அதுதான் abeda adhyavasayam using shlesha. இது வந்து நம்ம 2-3 இடத்துல we saw this in Yadavabhyudayam first sarka. பாருங்க அதுல போய் அந்த இதே வம்சான்னு தேடினேன்னா அந்த இடத்துல இருக்கு. வம்சோ முக்தா பல என்னமோ அந்த மாதிரி, அதாவது எது வம்சா, how it grew like இது அப்படின்னு வரும் ஒரு ஸ்லோகம். ஓகே.